Kill those fans. We are live. Hey, how about you, everybody? Welcome into the Corner Call-In Show. I'm your host, Jeffrey Lee, Senior Recruiting Editor for Auburn Sports. Dadgummit. Today is Sunday, October the 26th, 2025, and we are about 21 hours removed from Auburn's first SEC win of the season, a 33-24 victory over the Fighting Neck Braces. We're going to talk about Auburn's big win. We're going to get to some phone calls tonight. We're going to talk about it. We got the upcoming Kentucky game. We want to talk about. We want to hear from you. And as he always is, 100% of the time when I look up and I see partial green shirt, I got Mr. Cole Pinkston. How about you, Cole?
I wore my green for Allen, man. How about you?
How about you? Allen is Allen Head.
He might
is. He was experiencing some flight troubles, delays. He's trying to get back, trying to join us before it's over with. I'm not expecting him, but hey, might be surprised.
Well, it's kind of like Auburn football. You expect the worst, hope for the best, right?
There you go. You just never know. You never know. You expect the worst at this point and hope for the best. Is that what you said?
Oh, yeah. You 100% expect the worst. Yeah.
I think that's fair. We want to get to some phone calls tonight, 701-779-9585. This is the first show after a win in about, 6 or 7 weeks, almost 2 months since Auburn beat South Alabama. Was that the last win?
Yeah, it was.
My goodness. There was 4 losses.
Which, that was kind of a close game. South Alabama's been sliding ever since. They were 1-6, and I was watching them play the other night. They may have won that game. I can't remember, but
I was accounting for a bye week in there somewhere. It seems like Auburn went on a bye before they went to A&M or something.
Yeah, they had a bye before Georgia.
Okay, there you go. That's right. They came back from the 2 road at Oklahoma, at A&M, had a bye, Georgia, and then Mizzou.
Yeah.
So probably the first show after a win, and we'll just say 6 weeks. Close enough, people. Get out of here. Hey, before we get to the phone lines, I want to remind everybody, if you're in Auburn, Opelika, Lee County, looking for some real estate help, look no further for the help you need. Give her a call, Miss Jessica Andrus with First Realty, 334-704-4442. A lot of 4s in that number, Cole, but don't be deceived. She's a freaking 5-star realtor. If you don't believe me, just ask Cole.
Just ask me.
Yeah, that's what he said. She's fantastic, folks. She's never had anything less than a 5-star review. If you don't believe me, just give her a try. You will absolutely be astonished by her knowledge of the game. Give her a call. Jessica Andrus with First Realty, 334-704-4442. Tell her we sent you. All right, Cole, let's, for a win, for an SEC road win, it's still kind of ho-hum, right?
Oh, yeah, it's very ho-hum, I guess. That's not a very good Arkansas team. When you factor in their team as a whole, their defense is pretty bad. Feels kind of like that Kentucky win a year ago. Pretty similar. Yeah. But I will say this, Arkansas's offense has been much better than what they put on the field against Auburn. And you know what Bobby Petrino is capable of. In fact, he had several plays where he messed them up assignment-wise, had a tight end out wide open, all kinds of stuff. He's just a great coordinator. But DJ Durkin's a great defensive coordinator, and boy, did he hit him back with a few things like floating your corner into the passing lane, all that kind of stuff, man, that is really over my head as far as football goes. But Durkin's awesome. And did Hugh Freeze save his – I think that's the biggest question after this week. Did Hugh Freeze save his job with that win? And I think the answer is no. No, I think he's still on the line of potentially losing his job, but it's a start. This is what I wrote this morning. It is a start. You have to start somewhere. Good win. It's a good win on the road against a good offense, a good quarterback. Now you got to keep it going. You got no choice. You can't drop one to Kentucky coming up.
Yeah, I think that's, of course, I was trying to think when was the last Auburn road win, SEC road win. And last year, Kentucky game, was it last year?
That might be it, yeah.
In October. So it's been It's been about a year. It's been about a year since the last SEC road win and the period SEC win. So it was good to do that. It was good to see Hugh Freeze at least try something new after Jackson Arnold's pick
Yeah.
six.
Yeah.
Put in
Look,
Ashton Daniel.
if you're going down, you might as well try everything.
That's right.
At least
Throw everything you got at them.
At least you can say at the end of it, I did everything I could for this.
I wish I'd have put Ashton in.
Yeah, you don't want to have any regrets on that.
Some of the things I took away from that, Cole, is Xavier Atkins might be the best linebacker I have seen at Auburn in a long time.
Yeah, he's something else. He was my pick for breakout player of the year before the season started. So I feel good about that. Happy about that. But I was not alone in making that pick. I talked to people inside the building during fall camp, and they were all telling me, and just from what I was seeing from fall camp too, but they were telling me, like, I don't know how LSU did not play this guy one and let him slip away. Like, I mean, this was not one of the portal gets that Auburn had to like spend a lot of money for, right? Not that they are not paying him, but you get what I'm saying. It was an
for sure. And listen, I almost made light of this, man. I went back and looked at this, Cole, and you and I understand this more than anybody about the situation in which Auburn went about getting Xavier Atkins. They brought Xavier Atkins in for an official visit December the 18th, and the day prior, they had brought in Jalen Smith.
Yes, from Tennessee.
From Grayson High School. And so there was a lot of connections there. And instead of Jalen Smith, when he left, I was like, that dude's coming to Auburn.
Yeah, right.
He left on Wednesday morning. Well, they brought in Xavier Atkins right after he left, or right when Xavier Atkins came in for a 1-day official visit. And Auburn made a decision, I'm guessing it was DJ Durkin, to go with either Jalen Smith or Xavier Atkins. And Durkin knew Atkins a lot better than he knew Smith. And he ended up taking Xavier Atkins. Smith went to Mississippi State, and you see what Xavier Atkins. And I'm telling you, that game yesterday, I was trying to think today, like, when is the last time you've seen an Auburn linebacker be that big of a force?
Jacoby McLean. That was the last time. For me, anyway.
Well, maybe it was just me personally, the way he made me go, golly. Like, I don't know that Jacoby McLean ever made me do that. Like, is he one of the best linebackers I've seen since? I mean, are we talking Josh Bynes? Are we talking Carlos Dansby? I mean, he has been fantastic. I'm trying to think back to who's the best linebacker Auburn's had in the most recent years. Is Josh Bynes the most recent?
Yeah, Josh Bynes. They had some other guys. Deshaun Davis was good, but different. Trey Williams had his moments.
Sure.
Jacoby McLean to me was excellent. Owen Papo had moments, but he wasn't dominant like that.
True.
I felt like the closest to dominant was McLean. When you really look back at it, he was pretty good. But
was that? What was Jacoby? What year was he here?
Well, I know that he returned that interception in the
2016 or 17.
No, that was the 2019 Iron Bowl, wasn't it?
Okay. Oh, yeah. Wow, man, that feels like so long ago.
I think his last year at Auburn was 2021, the first year of Brian Harsin.
Okay.
So fairly recently. Frost, somebody said Chris Frost, El Toro, Freeman, KJ Britt. They're coming in. Jake Holland. I love Jake Holland.
Britt was really good. KJ was really good. Who are the others?
El Toro.
Chris Frost. We're going back 10, 15 years now.
Chris Frost was pretty good.
But he didn't ever dominate a freaking game like Xavier Atkins did yesterday. Xavier Atkins dominated a game.
He did. He is, acceleration. Like that one sack he had on Taylon Green, he was spying him, and Green, like, he knew he was coming, and he was just going to try to string it out to the sideline and throw it. And then all of a sudden, he's on the ground. He's like, "How did that happen? How did he get there?" He's like a flash on the field. He is a blur. when he's running to the ball carrier, and I'm like, dude. Casanova McKenzie, Darren Bates, a couple others.
13 tackles, 4 tackles for loss, 2 sacks, a forced fumble, and a quarterback hurry. Domination.
You know, the thing is, too, he's not just good in space. Like, he's a smaller linebacker. He's not a big guy. I think he weighs 210 or something like that. And he's 5'11", 6 foot, right in that range.
Yeah.
But he plays great in the box. He's good in space. He can cover. He's the spy. He can do everything. He can do everything.
Some of the negatives was obviously the offense. Really happy for Alex McPherson. I thought, man, if anybody deserves it more than him, I don't know who it was. The offense, though, the defense kept giving them the ball, and the offense kept putting up field goals. And one touchdown against the worst defense in the SEC. One touchdown.
It wasn't great. I mean, the really and truly, it's just the red zone because everything else is fine. I mean,
right.
380 yards is not bad. That's not a bad output. Definitely 230 rushing yards is great.
Jeremiah Cobb was great.
Can't finish in the red zone. That's even the case when Ashton Daniels was in the game. Now, they did finish one time, I believe. But, and I'm going to go watch that and really break that down this week because that's going to be a big storyline moving forward. But what is the deal with the red zone offense? I'm going to try to figure it out. But they can't get it done there in that game. And their numbers are terrible on the year for red zone offense. But they started putting things together, and then it was the worst part of the game was the Jackson Arnold interception. I could talk forever about that, and we will on the film.
He had thrown that football before he ever took the snap.
Yeah, he was going there because his pre-snap alignment tells him to throw that ball, and they gave him the option. Look, Freeze throws his clipboard, whatever. If you don't want him throwing it, don't give him the option. It's really that simple. You ran it 8 times. Don't even put the pass attachment on there.
All right, let's get to some phone calls. See what the vibe is like on the horn tonight.
Let's see, 6940. You're live. Who are we talking to? Where are you calling from?
Hey, this is Alex Byers out of Moulton, Alabama.
Hey, Byers.
Oh, Byers.
I was just calling because this was one of the first times I've watched. Well, I guess since last year that I watched the game, and even just watching our offense, there's nothing to be excited about outside of the defense. What do y'all think we got to do on this offensive side of the ball? Is it going to take a coaching change, or what are we going to have to do? I'm hanging up and just listening to y'all on that one.
That's a great question, Alex.
It is.
And what do you think, Cole? Are you
Well, it's a little bit exciting after watching Ashton Daniels lead a win. At least like another week, maybe we see Ashton Daniels again. I don't see how we won't.
Right.
Although it's an interesting situation. We can get more into that if you want, but no, he kind of provided a spark, especially that down the field shot to Eric Singleton. You know, that was kind of exciting. But, you know, the more I think about this and the potential of a firing and promoting, you would think DJ Durkin as the interim, if that were the case, and we're just speaking in hypotheticals here. Almost the more I think about that, the more I don't want that. I really think the best thing for Auburn is to keep him in his place at defensive coordinator. How do you do that with everything going on? If that's the case, is the only way to do that is to keep Hugh Freeze? I don't know. I don't know the answers to that yet. There's a lot of scenarios that are building and getting ready to play out that all we can really do is question it at this point.
Offensively, liked what I saw from the run game, liked what I saw from Jeremiah Cobb. Was it me or did everybody else feel a little bit more comfortable, a little bit more relaxed seeing Ashton Daniels back there?
No, I did for sure.
A little more confident.
Yeah. Well, I felt like because they made a quarterback change, they would keep it on the ground a little bit more, and that's why I felt better about it because that was the formula that was working. I mean, you could have scored when they went up 21-10. You could have scored on that drive going. Just run the football if they would just kept it on the ground. So I felt good about that. But then he makes this long pass to Eric Singleton, a ball that I feel like Jackson Arnold has held on to too much. And it wasn't necessarily open, but he believed in his guy and let it
Give him a
go.
chance.
Which is exactly what Hugh Freeze has been telling Arnold. Like, you gotta, if he drops it or if he doesn't make the play and you placed it right, that's on him. It ain't on you. Trust it.
To be fair, I probably said the same about Jackson Arnold at the first of the year. I felt more confident with him back there than I did Peyton Thorne. But man, it was. I think for me, it was funny because I was watching the football game on television, and the announcer was saying, "What you can't do right here was 3rd and 6, maybe it was something like that." And he goes, "You just can't take a sack right here. Jackson Arnold cannot take a sack right here." And there's the snap, and Jackson Arnold's sacked. I was like, "Yeah, dude, I've seen this movie before."
Yep.
Good stuff, Alex. Appreciate you calling in, buddy.
1295. You're live. Who we talking to? Where are you calling from?
Good evening, gentlemen. This is Ken from Anniston.
Hey, how about you, Ken?
Just doing good. How y'all doing?
Man, we're doing great.
Awesome.
Lifelong Auburn fan, and I'm glad for the defense that they won this game, but it doesn't give you the warm and fuzzies
Right.
going forward.
Right.
DJ and his crew seem like they just made up in their head that they had to win it and score themselves because the offense can't score. But there was a thing in the press conference that Hugh did on Monday when he was asked about possibly giving Ashton a chance. And he said, yes. He said, well, what about his red shirt? He said, well, that's off the table now. He said, winning is all I'm thinking about. Well, think about that. Wasn't winning all he should have been thinking about in the Oklahoma game, in the Texas A&M game, the Georgia game, the Missouri game? I mean, think of what the season might have been if he had gave that spark off the bench. Not that Ashton's an all-star, but he's confident. And you could tell the team trusted him. And it just kind of pisses you off that he waited till he was feeling the heat of his job to make a change instead of making a change back then. Winning has been important since the beginning of the year.
Sure.
And, it's just all this talent and it's just been wasted. So
Bad taste in your mouth, sounds like, Ken.
yeah. It's just to me it feels like the Cal game last year, or when we went to 2 Cal, we won,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
it didn't feel like a win.
Ugliest football game I've ever seen. It's Auburn somehow. Ken,
What do y'all think about Deuce? Him swiping his Instagram account off of anything Auburn related. Any chance that he's upset, in your opinion?
any chance he's upset?
Auburn?
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
I'll get off the listen, and I appreciate you taking my call.
Absolutely, Ken. Thanks for calling in, man. Good stuff. Listen, I cover these kids. I have for 20 plus years. I do not care any whatsoever about what they do with their social media. It doesn't mean anything to me. I don't care. I don't.
Oh boy. Ken brings up some things that are going to be difficult to. There's some things that we could probably address, but you have to be careful here. And the reason I say that is because, I've said before, with great recruiting comes great responsibility, right? Well, with great recruiting comes politics, if I'm being honest, at least in this world. Jeffrey, I don't know if you want to get into this, but that's how I feel about it. That's more of an opinion on the way I'm looking at things. Now, don't forget, you just had Damari Austin sort of dictate his situation where maybe Freeze is wanting him to stay and help and win. That's not how it played out. he got to choose his red shirt. So now he'll get another year of football somewhere else, I guess. All right. The Ashton Daniels situation is interesting because I think part of it, him coming in, there was a chance he could redshirt and have another year of football. So is that up to Freeze? Is it up to the player? You know, this whole political world we're in now, you have to understand that part of it. It's a weird dynamic, and it's hard to understand for probably Ken, who's followed football back to when it didn't have all this politics. So hopefully I put that in the right words. I don't want to say anything wrong with that.
Yeah, I think the whole deal with Ashton coming in is that they both agreed that if he could get 2 years out of Auburn, that was the plan. And to be fair to Hugh Freeze at this point, I don't know that even during the Oklahoma game, the Texas A&M game, I don't think anybody was really the idea of replacing Jackson Arnold was really not at the forefront of anybody.
No.
That was not so. I'm defending Freeze on that one. In that really that to me wasn't a viable option at the time. It wasn't like, oh my gosh, Auburn's got to find a quarterback. It was he's got to improve. He's got to figure this out. He's got to get rid of the ball faster. You know, it was all about how Jackson Arnold can become a better football player, better quarterback for Auburn, not who's next. And I don't think the who's next really came into play until the Missouri game. So. So the whole, burning his red shirt before down, I don't think that was even an idea. But after Missouri, it was like maybe it's time to, it's the same story every week of the first, 6 weeks?
Yeah, right. When
Six
you're
games,
you're
and
up
it was like
burning it. Yep.
And then you're going, well, maybe it is time because he's not doing anything different. He's not getting any better. He's not getting the ball out faster. He's not doing this. He's not doing that. He's not getting this read. So maybe it is time for a change. And when he threw that pick six, I think it was just like, all right, here we go. And
I want to be clear. I don't know how Ashton thinks. I'm not trying to speak for him or anything. It's just you have to understand the scenarios that could play out here. What if he decides he does not want to burn that red shirt?
He certainly can.
We've now seen a player do that. A guy that was the team captain, by the way. So they hold power there. They hold power there. That makes it weird. And I don't know how else to put that and be nice about it. And I'm not saying he'd be that guy or anything. I don't know. I just know it's a weird situation now because if he's the starter for the rest of Auburn's game, he'll burn his red shirt. And
he'll be done with his eligibility. And if you think about it, Auburn has put itself in a position now where they're at least absolutely should be going bowling. So you're not just talking about, hey, let's play Deuce against Mercer or Jackson against Mercer and let's save Ashton's. I don't know the dealings behind the doors because there was an understanding between the two parties when Ashton came to Auburn in that he wanted – and it wasn't – listen, Ashton is such a freaking good dude.
Yeah, he's awesome.
He is freaking awesome. Yes, sir. Y'all, whatever it is for the, there's no way I would expect Ashton Daniels to do anything that we're even talking about, even though he has that opportunity. He wouldn't say, no, I'm not playing against Mercer because I want to risk.
It's on the table.
Right. Sure it is. Absolutely.
I don't know.
Absolutely.
Well, couldn't he sit against Mercer? Because the bowl game doesn't count against eligibility anymore.
And
he could play last week, Kentucky, Vandy, Bama.
Right.
Yeah, that's he could definitely sit against Mercer.
He can still play in the bowl game because that doesn't count toward eligibility anymore.
Okay. So you sit him against Mercer?
Yeah, let Jackson or Deuce play. Because if you can't beat Mercer with either quarterback, then we got bigger issues at hand.
Are you going to do that with your offense the week before Iron Bowl?
Hey, Mercer's 6-1.
Hey, listen, do you guys remember who I picked for an FCS player to add to Auburn's roster?
Yeah.
Andrew Zock from Mercer, the defensive end.
Oh, yeah.
Their one loss was before they had their starting quarterback now. They've been starting a true freshman who's thrown for like 20 touchdowns and 2 interceptions in his 5 or 6 starts. Yeah. He's a freak out of North Carolina.
Jeez.
So
that's what I'm saying. What if you get in a rhythm with Daniels and you get to that game, you got to keep it going because he's got to it is a strange situation we're about to watch.
A little dynamic.
Very.
What if Ashton Daniels leads you to wins over Kentucky at Vanderbilt, and you're 6-4 heading into Mercer?
Put the
And
top
you go-
10 win because Vandy's going to be top 10 at that point.
Yeah.
They win
Yeah,
next
of course.
week.
You could play deuce against Mercer. I guess you could do that, but
I don't know, man.
and
That's a tough call.
Speaking of that situation, to Ken's question, and we'll keep going to callers, but I don't pay attention to people's Instagrams or Twitters, like you said, Jeffrey, but you should, with what's going on at Auburn and what could happen and what's, their back is against the wall. What if Freeze gets fired? What if he doesn't? All of this stuff, you should expect people to leave.
Oh, yeah.
People that you don't want to leave, players that you don't want to leave are considering it. I guarantee it. That's where we're at. So no matter what happens, if they keep Freeze, do they want to stay and potentially be in this situation again if that's the case? Or if they get rid of him, maybe they don't want to get rid of him. All of that's good. You're in a position now because you didn't win a game in that stretch where that could be, that's going to probably be a problem when it comes to transfer portal.
There's going to be people leave regardless. I mean, shit, man, I can see a quarter of this roster. I can see upwards of 15 to 20 players leaving.
Which last year they were able to retain so much because they believed they were going to be good. They had another big class come in. They had another good portal class come in. They spoke to all the guys that were on the fence and said, "Look, you better stick around. We're about to be good." And this is what's happened. And now you're in a bad spot.
Good stuff, Ken. Appreciate you calling in, man. Before we get to our next call, big how about you to Glenn Smith Chevrolet, Caleb Schofield there out in Opelika, off of exit 62, off of I-85, man. Glenn Smith Chevrolet is now celebrating over 33 years of serving East Alabama and West Georgia for sales, service, and parts. The inventory is fantastic. 500 new and used vehicles on the ground and on the way. Loaded with over 200 brand new Chevy Silverados. How about you to E. Moss? You got him one? GMC Sierra trucks, GMC Sierras and Silverados. That's the if you need one, if you want one, if you're looking for one, give Caleb Schofield a call, 334-531-0996. Tell him you want that. How about you special? I'm serious. Give him a call, 334-531-0996. Tell him you want that. How about you special? Voice is a little hard. All right, Zach, keep us going, big dog.
7112. You're live. Who we talking to? Where you calling from?
Hey, how you doing?
1-2.
Fantastic, man. Who we talking to?
Hey, fellas. This real. I just wanted to say, man, listen, we got to give our coach, man, listen, Durkin, we got to give him some props, man. I was just looking at the game yesterday, how it seemed like when Petrino gets a chance to be a head coach, like he come out his bag and Arkansas offense is taking off. Man, Durkin could have been folded up on us. Durkin could have been like, you know what? I ain't got to call my A game. I'm just going to call A game. I ain't got to give my best defense. I just got to give some defense. But Coach Durkin, man, I think that guy really needs a pat on the back, and I think he really deserves an opportunity if one ever arrives within the camp. But I just wanted to say, War Eagle, man, it feels good to finally get a win, man. I'm excited. Hopefully, this right here might be the spark we need to get back into what they've been doing to Gus for years. Hey, get you a new coordinator. But outside of that, love you guys, man. War Eagle, talk to y'all later.
Awesome. Good stuff,
Hey,
Rev.
great
Appreciate
call.
you calling in, man.
It's interesting. It's an interesting perspective because so many people are at their wits' end with this, but then you have a lot of the fan base who are really excited about a win and want to see them get it right. I mean, I think everybody on this panel wants to see them get it right.
Absolutely.
So, I appreciate that call.
Great opportunities ahead too, man. I really think, I still think every game left on this schedule is winnable.
Yeah,
But
it is. It is.
I mean, listen, every game is winnable when you have, like Rev said, a defense like DJ Durkin's. Unbelievable. I mean, one of the better defenses. I mean, are we thinking? I mean, maybe Muschamp, Chiswick. I'm thinking. I mean, because it's been a while, right?
I think it's probably the best defense since I don't know, man.
been a long time. Even
Thing
when we
is,
were
like,
good, you didn't have a good defense.
no,
Yeah.
like 2019 with Derek Brown, they were good. They
Kevin
dominant?
Steele was good. Yeah.
Okay, 2017, they were good. Were they dominant? Were they stopping the run like this? Like, what was the last team that did that? I think Justin Hokanson had a post on this that was really good. Let me find that real quick.
Oh, it was on. He wrote about it on X today.
Yes, he also had a post on the corner. Auburn has allowed 673 rushing yards through 8 games. That is good for fewest in the first 8 games of a season since 1988.
Wow.
Because I was thinking like 04, because that defense was so good in 04.
Mm-hmm. That was
Okay.
Chiswick.
To that point, Zach, 472 rushing yards allowed through 5 SEC games. That's the fewest since 2005.
Wayne Hall was 88. That's exactly who I was thinking.
So right in that time period, 2005, that was the year after that. 2005 was still a good year for Auburn, too.
Well, it went from Chiswick to Muschamp. They had those defenses in the middle part of Tuberville's tenure were fantastic.
Because even 06 was pretty good. That was the year they went to the Cotton Bowl, right?
Yes, and that was gosh, I'm trying to think.
Quentin Groves was still the DN there, right? Or was it Antonio Coleman that year?
It was Coleman with Muschamp.
2005.
Either way, that's how far back you're going back to 88. What's that? Almost 40 years ago. The best defense through 8 games since Wayne Hall in 1988. Almost 40 years ago.
Yeah.
Good stuff, Rev. Appreciate you calling in, big dog.
2127. You're live. Who we talking to? Where are you calling from? Two 127. You're live.
Yeah, I'm here.
Who we talking to?
Nelson Williams.
Nelson. Where are you from, Nelson?
I am from Franklin, Tennessee.
How about you, Franklin, Tennessee?
All right.
What's on your mind tonight, Nelson?
So, well, I'm listening to your other. Hold on, let me turn it off. All right. Well, kind of go by history, and we're past the emotions, we're past the crying. We got to get serious. And I'm kind of with you guys in many aspects. If we let Hugh stay, he's got to drop the offensive coordinator position and either hire one or let his other guys do it, because he can't. Every time he loses an argument with a ref, you see him get red. And when he gets red, he affects the players around him. You watch the Georgia game, when he started getting red after the ball got punched out, we stopped playing.
Yeah.
And we didn't play for the rest of the game. We have got to, our captains have to keep control of our players, but our coaches have to keep control of their emotions. And if they can't do that, being an offensive coordinator, because he has to call plays right after he loses an argument, if he can't control his emotions, how does he think he can control his football team? So, listen, I've been listening to you guys this whole year. I joined just this week. I think you guys say so many smart and logical things. All of you, even Zach, y'all do a fantastic job. What you're all about is Auburn football, and sadly, I've been a fan for longer than I would like to admit, but I've had a family member there since before it was named Auburn. So we
Wow.
kind of come deep. Yeah. My father's family was from Wetumpka.
Okay.
but they're all over the state. My mother's family's from Louisiana.
Well,
But,
Nelson, that's mighty
you
kind,
know,
man. We
you guys,
appreciate you.
you guys do a great job. And I just want us, I think we can win 3 of our last 4 games. I think we can beat Alabama. I'm not so sure about Vanderbilt, but I think we got a chance. So, you know, tell me what you think. And I appreciate it. And I'm going to not be a stranger. I'm going to call again.
Please
Yeah,
do, Nelson.
absolutely.
We appreciate you, man, for joining the site, for listening to us, for all the kind words. Absolutely appreciate you, man. But
Yeah,
Cole, you know, I think Auburn the rest of the season is 6-6. That's the absolute minimum.
Yeah, I mean, you can't go 6-6.
I agree, but I mean, the
I'll give you
worst
free-
case scenario, you can't lose to Kentucky. You can't
give
lose
you-
to Mercer.
No, I'll give Hugh Freeze credit. Last week, I think maybe even following the game, or it might have been Monday, I think he was asked what the expectation is from here on out, and he said, win out. Have to.
Yeah.
So he gets it. All right. Don't think he's in a place where it's like he's tone deaf. I think he understands where he's at. I'll give him credit on that. Okay. I'll say this, Nelson. If you think Auburn's not going to be in the game against Bama, if you think Auburn does not have a chance, you're crazy. Now, if you think Auburn's going to win the game, you're also crazy. But Auburn's going to have a chance. Vanderbilt, bad matchup.
Is it?
Yeah. That's a well-coached football team. And I don't like that matchup with Auburn. Right
Even
now.
with Xavier Atkins spying.
Oh, look, I mean, they'll hold them to 17 points, but can they score?
Yeah. How's Vandy's D?
Good.
Breaking news from Pete.
Dang it.
Pete
I answered
Nikos is Brian Kelly is out at LSU officially.
Oh,
All right.
I saw it.
Let me make a point here on that note. Everybody who wants to fire Freeze, okay, I can understand to an extent. Now you have the Penn State job open, the Florida job open, and the LSU job open. And what if Lane Kiffin goes somewhere? Then Ole Miss is open.
Florida State's going to be open.
Florida State might be open. Would look like a pretty good pool. Now, I mean, let's just say the quiet part out loud. I think LSU and Florida are bigger jobs than Auburn right now because
Sure.
looking at Auburn, it's kind of a mess.
Yeah.
To be honest.
Has been for a long time.
So now what? Now what? Now how do you feel about it? What if LSU and Florida have the same? And we kind of know. I mean, go check out Keith Niebuhr over there. They know who the targets are. Probably going to be about the same for Auburn.
I was going to say a lot of familiar names you would see if it was an Auburn on Auburn board.
Yeah, everybody wants John Summerall. LSU probably makes sense there.
Kiffin, Drinkwitz, Brent Key.
So that's interesting, man. This it's going to be a wild coaching carousel, which is Allen's specialty. We'll talk to him about it when we see him again.
Nelson, I wanted to address one more thing about you. I think Derek Nix is the scapegoat in all this, and I feel bad for Derek Nix because he's in such an awkward position. He's the offensive coordinator, but nobody thinks for a minute. But now, what? So if you go make Freeze hire a new offensive coordinator, why? Why? And this, let me finish. Because this is not Derek Nix's offense. It's not. I don't know what Derek Nix's offense looks like, but it's certainly not this. This is Hugh Freeze's offense, and that's why I feel bad that the position Derek Nix is in, because he's in a can't win situation right here. If the offense does well, it's Hugh Freeze. If it doesn't do well and it's booty cheeks, we need a new OC and let Freeze be the CEO.
Well, I think it comes down to, Jeffrey, what about the direction of the program, right? Do you feel like it's in the right direction or do you feel like it's in the wrong direction? Forget about the offense. Is the program going in the right direction?
Okay. So what are your measuring sticks here? You're looking at recruiting, you're looking at defense, you're looking at special teams, you're looking at because how many of those hits is in the right direction?
Yeah, I mean, what did we say before the season? You cannot do less with more. It's a fireable offense. Everywhere it's ever happened, it's been a fireable offense. It's no different at Auburn.
Now you put it like that, then no,
you can't do
it's
it.
definitely doing. It's definitely doing less with more.
I will say this though, it's going to be. I think no matter what happens, it's going to be an off season of retraction, a subtraction, and addition. You're going to lose a lot of guys. You're going to have to add a lot of guys. When it comes to retaining, no matter what happens, at the head coach's seat, you better keep that defense together. That's hard to put together, what you put together on that side of the ball. The evals have been money. They've got all kinds of guys that are playing above their level, in my opinion, because of how well DJ Durkin and this defensive staff develops players and coaches them, and the product on the field is fantastic. And it helps that they've recruited well and hit on evals. It's harder to build that than the offense because right now we're watching a really on paper talented offense not get it done. Jackson Arnold was a 5-star plus. He cost a lot of money. All right, so I'm not saying
Chaplin,
right? I'm sure you paid pretty good for Murphy. Singleton, he was $1 million. Cam Coleman, $1 million. Malcolm Simmons got a significant pay raise. So there's a lot of money sunk into that, and the return on investment is the people that are paying those checks are sick to their stomach right now. And I'm not saying you can be devoid of talent and get away with it. You have to have it. But I think the defensive side of the ball is where it's at. And I still believe that defense wins championships. And I think Auburn's got a playoff level defense right now. And if offense could just put a couple more touchdowns on the board, they'd be better. So find a way to do that. Is it spending more money? I don't know. Right now, that's not the answer.
Yeah, Auburn's defense is 8-0 good. That's how good they are.
Easily.
8-0, top 3 team in the country.
Easily.
If not number 1, you beat the guys that you beat Oklahoma, A&M, Georgia, Missouri. You might be 1 or 2.
Right.
All right, let's we got about 6 more calls. Let's get to them. Stop BSing around.
0635. You're live. Who are we talking to? Where are you calling from?
This is Stan from Panama City.
How about you, Stan?
Stan from Pan.
Hey, how about you? I just got a couple of comments. I'm sure there's a lot of callers waiting.
Okay.
I'd rather hear y'all talk than me. But I just want to know if you and Cole saw a noticeable attitude elevation when Ashton came in. And also, Cole knows that I have always been high on Dallas Walker. And Dallas Walker doesn't make flashy plays, but he gets in there and holds up 2 blockers and allows them linebackers to tear that running game up of the opposing team. The last comment I want to make, and this is for Cole, is maybe with Walker and the offensive lineman we had, maybe we need to start talking to Western Kentucky because all those players come here and do good. Thank you all, guys. Y'all the smartest people I know, and y'all have a good evening.
Hey, Stan, you need to get out and meet some folks.
Not as smart as you, Stan. I love your questions and your calls every week. There's a point. He was talking about Gunnar Britton, by the way. Gunnar Britton was a good offensive lineman for Auburn who didn't cost near as much as others, I'm sure. No, he's right about Dallas Walker, too. Dallas Walker's been fantastic. And I did him wrong on my power rankings before the season. I had him like last in the D-line room. So, wrong.
I've been impressed with that
Not
entire
that
front.
smart, Stan.
But I'll tell you what, who was quiet against Arkansas? Keldrick Falk.
He didn't have as big of an impact as you think, but
And that might have been by design from Petrino.
yeah. I mean, you know his potential. He scares you. He's a game plan changer because he wrecked Missouri a week ago on the outside zone stuff. He's become more of a plugger for Auburn in recent weeks, and look, that's the kind of guy he is. He's not a flashy guy. If you ask him to do it, he'll do that. That's why he's team captain.
He had 2 solo tackles.
And every time you see, he was huge on that play on a 3rd and 1 that led to a 4th and 1 that Bobby Travis made a stop on. Keldrick stopped it on 3rd and 1. Him and Bryce Diaz, by the way. Gosh, there's so many names on defense. So many names. What was did Stan ask another question? Was there something else he
More
asked?
like a statement.
Okay.
Yeah. Good stuff though. Appreciate you, Stan. Keep us going, Zach.
He wanted to know about if there was an attitude change when Ashton Daniels
Oh, yeah.
came in.
That's right.
I don't know. I can't really tell, honestly.
I think that's fair. That's not what I was really paying attention to. I have to go back and watch it.
Yeah.
We got the Bama lover here, Carter. Carter, you're live, man.
Gentlemen, how about you?
How about you?
Well, I'm going to tell you what, I have loved listening to all the callers tonight, but I really just think that you cannot overlook big old Xavier Atkins, dude. That guy came in and I completely overlooked him. I won't lie. I thought he's going to be riding second string. You know, I talked to Ryan G about it, and he was like, that guy's a psycho in practice. He said he's over there like Reuben Foster trying to hurt folks, trying to knock people's asses off.
Yep.
And I really think that looking back, like, good God, he looks polished as hell.
He looks what?
Polished.
He
Oh,
looked polished as hell to not have played barely any last year, and now to come into things. And I mean, I'm full on amazed by him, and I really think that if you maintain this coaching staff, if somehow by the grace of good God above you finish this season and you win out, which I'm not saying I think is what's going to happen, but if somehow you win out and you get to keep, Hugh Freeze gets to keep his job, I could not agree with Cole more. The first thing you absolutely have to do is you have to maintain that defensive staff. You have no choice.
Well, Carter, here's my one rebuttal to that. If you hire someone new, if it gets to that, you don't tell them what to do. I don't believe in that. I don't believe you say you need to keep this guy, you need to keep this guy. I just don't think that's the way you handle a new hire. Now, having said that, if you are a coach coming in and you see the production from Vontrell King-Williams' defensive line, from Rock Bellantoni's edge room, from DJ Durkin's defense, the TJ Rushing's, the whole defense staff, how do you look at that and go, I think I'm going the other way? Y'all go somewhere.
I got somebody I think is a better fit.
How do you look at that and say that? Somebody might. So prepare yourself for that, and they have every right to do it. I just want to point that out.
It'd be interesting to see, man. A lot of storylines to follow over the next 5-6 weeks. It's going to be crazy. Good stuff, Carter. Appreciate you, buddy.
0548. You're live. Who we talking to? Where are you calling from?
How about you, fellas? It's Kyle from Gardendale.
How about you, Rocket Man?
You late?
I know, man. I tried to get in, but can't win every time, man.
No, I hear you.
Keep plugging, Big Dog.
Hey, I want to piggyback off Carter, man, for a second. I think Xavier Atkins, one of the best things he does is there's no false steps.
Never.
There's no false steps in his linebacker play. He reads and diagnoses so well, and then he goes. And I think it's no coincidence that you see Keldrick Falk becoming more of a plugger, and you have Xavier Atkins taking over games. I think there's no coincidence there.
Great point.
And so I think DJ's got this dialed in. Now I was blessed this weekend. I got to go to the game, and I will. First thing I will say, that was about as piss poor of an SEC atmosphere as I've ever been to.
It looked like there were like 13,000 people there.
How bad was the rain, Kyle? Was it that bad?
It wasn't that bad. It honestly wasn't that bad. Obviously, me and my brother's a huge Arkansas fan, and we go every year. This is something we do every year. It's a tradition for us, and we love it. But the rain was not that bad. Now it was a little it was steady mist in some points, but it wasn't bad enough, for Jackson to throw a floater out there for a pick six. I mean, those boys, they know how to throw the football in the rain. And, it was one of those things. I'm telling you, man, Xavier Atkins, it's just seeing him in person like that was just awesome. And God bless everybody who gets to go to games every week, man. You're so blessed and the awesomeness of it. But I do want to say this. How about Alex McPherson, man? Showing some freaking mental toughness.
Yes.
Coming off of that game last week, to come out there when the team had to have it, and he pulled through for this team this weekend. And I just got to give him his props. And the defense again holding an SEC opponent, statistically the best offense in the SEC to 23 points and or under 23 points, and one of them was 6. 20 actually held them to 17 points.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Just God, I'm telling you, man, it's. I hate that we're wasting this again. I know every Auburn fan out there hates that, but I got two last things. And the first thing, all you Auburn fans that wanted Arkansas to win this game, you should freaking be ashamed of yourself. It's a joke. You're part of a bigger problem. You got a win now mentality. You're not willing to work, and you're not willing to put the time and the effort in to see kids grow. And you know what? Hugh Freeze can fail this program. We may go hire a coach and it may fail this program. But your attitude in that situation in this game this weekend, you should be ashamed of yourself. And the last thing I have, Freeze this weekend, one of the things that perked my ears up in his post-game press conference is he talked about the reason why you get into coaching is to see guys develop. And seeing this offense in person this weekend, I can answer why they can't score in the red zone. It's because it's piss poor play calling from a passing perspective, and you got no quarterback development. Those guys cannot rip the ball. There's no anticipation. And honestly, they don't give them an opportunity to have anticipation throws. Even if you go back, Cole, when you do your play script this week, you do your film room this week, you're going to see it. If Ashton Daniels throws that ball out in front, if he anticipates that coming open, all right, now it's defended, but Eric Singleton can run past that cat. He can run past that cat. But at least he gave him a chance to go win the game. I'm not trying to kill Ashton Daniels, but a little bit better quarterback coaching, a little bit better understanding of what you're trying to accomplish there. That ball gets out in front.
Right.
Okay. Now, when you get down in the red area, it's tight windows, man. And if you got quarterbacks scared to pull the trigger, you ain't going to score points in the red zone. And so it leads me to this. Hugh talked about development. All right. We've seen this crap on offense for 3 years. And now I'm tickled to death these kids got to win this week. Don't misunderstand me. I'm happy as an Auburn fan to say we got that win. But he sat there in that press conference and talked about development. Where's the development in this offense? Where's your quarterback development? Where's your wide receiver development? If Cam Coleman can't run a go or a hitch, he can't do nothing. I mean, It just blows my mind how bad this passing game is. And Cole, you mentioned it last week. Bobby Petrino's offense, the timing makes Auburn's offense look silly.
Yeah,
and
it does.
The same thing today or yesterday was the same thing. So with that being said, again, if you're an Auburn fan that's pulling for Arkansas, shame on you, man. Shame on you. And guys, I hope y'all have a great night. And might be some stuff y'all I don't really have a question, but might be some stuff y'all can hit on. But man, God bless y'all. God bless Auburn and War Eagle.
Hey, War Eagle, Kyle. Appreciate you calling in, big dog.
Awesome call, Kyle. I will say one thing. We'll move to the next caller. The interesting cog in the argument against Freeze is when you talk about direction of the program, everybody seems to be real happy with the defensive side, and that is part of the direction of the program. It is. It's not his side, but it's part of it. It's under his umbrella.
So the last three callers, we apologize. We're pushing up against the time here, so we just need your one question. 0978, you're live. Who we talking to? Where you calling from? And what is your one question?
Hey guys, this is Tim from El Dorado Hills. How are you doing?
Doing well, Tim.
It's good talking to you guys tonight. I've probably got a little bit different take than some, just because what I see in the past 3 years in college football is different than anything we've seen in the previous 50. This is such a different landscape that all these coaches are having to go through, and it's new for every one of them. So to apply the old paradigms just doesn't seem to make sense. You add to that the chaos that's coming. We've heard it. Brian Kelly was just fired. They're 5-3. 2 weeks ago, nobody was even thinking of getting rid of Brian Kelly. You see the others that are coming. There's talk of South Carolina firing their coach, Kentucky firing their coach. There's Mississippi State rumblings, and he just got there. Nobody has any patience for anything anymore. So I do appreciate when we do have a little bit of sanity leveled occasionally amongst the noise of the fanatics, the fans that call in and say things like, Deuce is leaving, look at his Instagram. How about we pay attention to Champ Anthony's interview for once? Let's glorify that a little bit and talk about the men that are here to play for this school and to represent this program.
Sorry, Tim. We had to get to the last two callers here. Do you guys have any comments?
No, just good points. I'm with you. I think everybody's rushing like LSU right now, trying to get in the market because it's a pretty good market right now, and they know they got to make a decision. Auburn's not playing it that way. Might not be the right decision, but at the same time, you don't want to look like a train wreck. You got to be careful what you do next. So I think it's a good point, Tim.
It was.
Edward, we got to get you on earlier, man, but let's get your one question, man. You're live.
Oh man, it's all good. I gotta change my monologue. What I had to say right quick, but with the Brian Kelly news, I find he's free tomorrow, and here's my stand. He ain't going nowhere with him. And the worst thing that could happen is you stuck with Freeze next year and don't have Durkin. Everybody else trying to build a winning program was on the defense coordinator that put the product on the field. He at Auburn, Alabama. I can put you in a better situation, DJ Durkin. Come on over here with me. How you know ain't nobody else might not look at him as a head coach? You're going to be stuck with Freeze. And see, Durkin, okay, he got some good players, but guess what? He can be like Dion. He can bring his Louis with him. Yeah, they can follow him. Well, I want to stay in a dead-end job where there's no uncertainty. You might have your man already on the roster. You might have your man already there. Because, hey, he's going to be the hottest thing on the market for a defense coordinator. You're trying to build a championship program. And that's it. That's what up.
Hey, good. A very good point.
It is. And look, give Auburn some credit. They paid the man last year, made a move on it. And we'll see if anybody wants to pay more than that. It's pretty high for a coordinator, what he's getting paid.
It's not a foregone conclusion that DJ Durkin's going to be here, regardless of what happens with E-Freeze.
Not at all.
3465. You're live, closing out the show. Who we talking to? Where are you calling from? And what is your one question?
This is Coleman from Mobile, Alabama.
What's up, Coleman?
I like that name.
And my one question is, this is no fault of Derek Nix, but he has not been given the opportunity to show if he can be a play caller. So if you do keep Hugh Freeze, one, do you trust him to actually turn over the play calling? And how do you not go and get an offensive coordinator since Nix hasn't, you don't know what he is?
Yes. Yep. I hear you, Coleman. That's a great question. Like, are you going to turn over the offense to somebody who's never called the offense before?
Can it get much worse?
No, but you have I would think if you were in dire straits like Hugh Freeze would be if he were given the opportunity, does he trust Derek Nix enough, or is he going to go out and pay top dollar for a proven caller, offensive coordinator, play caller? That's a great question. And that's why I said earlier, Derek Nix is in a no-win situation.
Yeah. And I believe it was our own Brian Matthews who asked Hugh Freeze last week about that potential of changing coordinators if he gets to that point after this season. And he said, of course, everything's on the table. I think that was his answer. So, does that mean he would go to Nix? Does that mean he'd look elsewhere? I just don't know. I don't know how that would go at all. Do you feel like that he would take it well if Auburn stepped in and said, now we'll keep you, but you must have a new coordinator? Like, how do you think he would do with that?
Just remember, Derek Nix was at Ole Miss.
With Kiffin.
He left Ole Miss to come be Hugh Freeze's coordinator. Kiffin publicly fought to keep Derek Nix. And Derek Nix went to call plays. It was in the contract. He had to call plays. Yeah. And that's why I think you got the line from Hugh Freeze about, we're three different people calling plays. That was not a good idea.
You remember in 2017, the whole year Auburn was sort of not going off the rails, but going maybe in the wrong direction offensively. And then there was a press conference, and I think Gus Malzahn said something along the lines of Chip Lindsey will call the plays from here on out, or we're going to make a change with that. And then maybe one of the most well-called Auburn ball games I can remember was the 2017. Unbelievably good. How great was that? And it was Chip Lindsey, from what we understand. So, there's still a lot of season to play out here, man. There's a lot. I just don't. And boy, I thought about even putting together like an article of the scenarios, but it would be a 100,000 word article.
Just like there's so many.
And they change every week. Now that you've won a game, it changes almost everything.
A lot to play out, man. That's why we love the football game. Played by the college semi-pro athletes. I guess they're professional now. They're getting paid. Might as well be professional. It's their full-time job.
Yes, we have every angle covered at Auburn Sports now that we have Jay and Brian, and we got it, dude.
We got it, man. If you're not a member, go check it out. Like I believe it was it Nelson? I believe it was Nelson who joined us up. Y'all come check us out at auburnsports.com. We're going to be back midweek to or Wednesday morning or Thursday morning with a little update on recruiting, kind of see how everything is kind of affecting the recruiting game. It's kind of slowed down a little bit, but we'll see if anything's changed there. We'll come back to you midweek, and we'll be back next Sunday night. Auburn plays our host, Kentucky, 6:30 p.m. kickoff. Auburn is a 10.5-point favorite last I checked, which I think that's about right. I think that's about what most Auburn fans would hope. Double-digit win over Kentucky.
Jeffrey, you talk about maybe grabbing a little momentum with another night game in Jordan-Hare, and you actually win one?
Yeah.
Whoa. That would be fun.
Nice. Let's do it. All right. Hey, don't forget about Jessica Andrews with First Realty. Give her a call if you're looking for some real estate help, 334-704-4442. And then also don't forget about Caleb if you're looking for a Chevy Silverado, GMC Sierra. Give him a call, 334-531-0996. Appreciate them sponsoring the show. All right, folks, that's going to do it tonight. Thanks so much for everybody for calling, for listening, for watching. For Cole, for Zach in the back who came to the front. I'm Jeffrey Lee, man. Y'all stay that left lane. See ya.